We turn pocket change into serious cash and sometimes a whole lot of laughs too. If you are new here, smash that subscribe button because today we are diving deep into a coin that might just be hiding in your collection right now, and it is worth a jaw-dropping $1.6 million. Yep, you heard that right. I am talking about the 1966 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, that little copper-colored coin you probably flipped across the table as a kid. Could now buy you a mansion, a fancy car, and still leave enough for a lifetime supply of cheeseburgers. Before we get rolling, let me ask you something. Have you ever looked at a penny and thought, nah, it is just a penny? Well, get ready to regret that, because today we are unlocking the secret behind one of the most valuable pennies in history. Alright, let us set the stage. It is 1966. America is grooving to the Beatles. The cars are the size of boats, and the Lincoln penny, well, it is quietly going about its business. Little did anyone know that a few very special ones would turn into million-dollar treasures. Now, the first thing you are probably wondering is why no mint mark. So here is the scoop. In 1965, the US Mint decided to ditch mint marks altogether. For a few years they were trying to ease a nationwide coin shortage because apparently Americans were hoarding coins like squirrels preparing for the apocalypse. No mint marks were used in 1965, 1966 and 1967. So when you find a 1966 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, that part is actually normal. But what makes some of them crazy valuable is the condition, the rarity, and a few spicy little minting errors. Imagine this: you find a penny with a deep rich color, almost nowhere sharp details on Abe Lincoln's beard and jacket, and a mirror-like finish. Congratulations, my friend, you might just be holding a $1.6 million penny. Now let me tell you a quick story. When I first got into coin collecting, I was just a broke college kid trying to avoid eating instant noodles 7 nights a week. I picked up this ratty little bag of pennies at a garage sale for a whopping $2. Thinking I was being real smart, I dumped them all on my coffee table one rainy Saturday. 3 hours in coffee spilled over my notes. My cat tried to eat a coin and my back felt like it aged 40 years. But in that mess I found a shiny 1966 Lincoln penny. It was not a $1 million one, but hey, it graded out pretty nice, and I flipped it for $50. $50 from a 2-cent investment. That little win hooked me for life. First up, condition matters more than how you feel after Thanksgiving dinner. You want a penny that looks almost brand new. This is called mint state, or MS for short. An MS 67 or higher 1966 Lincoln penny can demand those eye-watering prices. Second, if your penny has a cameo or deep cameo finish, meaning it looks like Abe is popping out of the coin like a 3D movie, you are in even better shape. These coins were typically minted with special dies and are incredibly rare. Third, and this is where it gets juicy, any weird errors increase the value, like a double die where the image looks doubled, or off-center strikes, or even clipped planchets where a part of the coin is missing. These mistakes make collectors absolutely lose their minds in bidding wars. The current record for a 1966 no mint mark Lincoln penny is right around $1.6 million. That particular beauty had flawless surfaces, strong strike detail, and was practically singing angels from its luster. Now let us have some real talk. Finding a $1.6 million penny is like winning the lottery while getting struck by lightning while riding a unicorn. Is it likely? Probably not, but is it possible? Absolutely. And the beauty of coin hunting is that the next big find could literally be sitting at the bottom of your junk drawer right now. Also, let us address the elephant in the room. Coins get dirty, tarnished, or even corroded from being passed through a million grubby hands. If you find a 1966 penny that looks rough, do not immediately toss it. Sometimes even circulated examples can be worth hundreds or thousands if they have the right features. And please, for the love of Abe, do not clean your coins. You might think you are helping, but to a serious collector a cleaned coin is like a dog with lipstick. Cute, but something is just terribly wrong. Leave the dirt and grime alone. Let the professionals evaluate it. Speaking of evaluations, if you find a good looking 1966 penny, your next step is to get it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. They are like the referees of the coin world, impartial and a little expensive, but totally worth it when you're talking million-dollar territory. Let us also talk about how to hunt for these pennies, because let's be real, not all of us are going to stumble onto a bag of garage sale coins every weekend. One method is bank rolls. You can still request boxes of pennies from your local bank for face value and spend a few hours searching. If nothing else, it is cheaper entertainment than a night out at the movies, and who knows, you might just hit the jackpot. Coin shows, flea markets, estate sales, even checking with grandma. You never know where a hidden treasure might be. I once heard of a guy who found a rare penny wedged between the seats of an old car he was restoring. True story. Now I know some of you might be wondering, alright smart guy, but how do I even tell if my penny is valuable? Well, besides the things we talked about, you should invest in a good magnifying glass or even a basic microscope. They let you catch tiny details you would never see with the naked eye. You want to look for sharp, crisp details, no flatness on the high points, and minimal nicks or scratches. Also weigh it. A normal 1966 penny should weigh about 3.1 grams. If yours is lighter or heavier, it could mean something went wrong at the mint, and errors like that drive collectors absolutely bananas. And another tip, folks: build relationships with local coin dealers. A good dealer can help you identify valuable coins and maybe even help you sell it for top dollar. Plus, it is nice to have a buddy who understands why you are getting so excited over a tiny piece of metal. Alright my friends, to wrap it all up, the 1966 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny is a coin with big potential hidden in a little package. While finding that perfect $1.6 million example is rare, it is absolutely worth keeping an eye out, because it only takes one lucky find to change your life. And even if you do not find the $1 million version, you will definitely learn a lot, have some fun, and maybe even make a few bucks along the way. So keep your eyes peeled, check your pockets, check the couch cushions, check that jar of pennies collecting dust in the kitchen. If you enjoyed this breakdown and you want even more tips, tricks, and strategies on how to turn everyday coins into serious money, hit that subscribe button right now, give this video a thumbs up, and leave a comment telling me what coin you are hunting for next. Trust me, you do not want to miss what I have coming up next. We are just getting started, and your treasure hunt is only beginning. Where pocket change turns into life change. I am telling you, today might just be the day you start checking the couch cushions a little more seriously, because we are diving into one of the coolest finds in coin collecting history, the 1973 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, worth a jaw-dropping $17 million. That is right, $1.7 million for a single penny. Now, before you go flipping over every penny you see, hold tight, because we are going deep today. We are talking history, mistakes, why this penny is such a big deal, and how you could get lucky and find one yourself. Plus, I am sharing a personal story about how I once thought I found $1 million coin, and well, let us just say it did not go quite as planned. Alright, let us set the stage. It is 1973. Disco is starting to take over. Bell bottoms are everywhere, and the US Mint is doing its thing, cranking out pennies like crazy. Now, normally 1973 pennies either have a little D for Denver or an S for San Francisco, or they have nothing, meaning they were made in good old Philadelphia. Here is the thing though, a normal no mint mark 1973 penny is just regular everyday pocket change, right, worth maybe 1 cent, maybe 2 cents on a good day if you are feeling generous. There were a few 1973 Lincoln pennies struck under weird circumstances, special dies, special blanks, a little bit of mint magic, whatever you want to call it, and these few rare coins are so perfect, so unusual that collectors went bananas over them. Fast forward to today, one of these rare 1973 no mint mark Lincoln pennies is valued at a staggering $17 million. Yeah, you heard that right, $17 million for a coin that weighs less than a paper clip. First up is the condition. We are talking pristine, not just good, not just great, but basically museum level perfect. They call this mint state 68 or higher. Think about it like this: if your coin looks like it just came off the press yesterday, you might be sitting on a gold mine. Second is the rarity. Only a handful are known to exist, and I mean a handful, like maybe 5, 6, who knows exactly, but it is not many. This is not like Beanie Babies in the 90s, where everybody thought they were sitting on a retirement fund and then ended up with a garage full of sad little bears. Third is the demand. Coin collectors love Lincoln pennies, and when you add in a rare year, a no mint mark error, and perfect condition, it is like finding a unicorn riding a leprechaun carrying a winning lottery ticket. It is that rare. Now I know what you are thinking: how the heck do I know if I have 1 second? Flip that penny over, check if there is no little D or S under the date. If there is nothing that is a good sign, but hold your horses. Just because there is no mint mark does not mean you are a millionaire yet. Third, look at the condition. If it is all scratched up, has been through the wash a few times, or looks like it was used as a hockey puck in a driveway game, it is probably not worth millions. But if it is shiny, crisp, clean with sharp details and barely any wear, then my friend, you might want to get that thing professionally graded by PCGS or NGC. These are the big dogs. In the coin grading world, they will tell you if you have something truly special. Now for a quick personal story, because I promised, and honestly this is too good not to share. A few years ago I was at a flea market, you know the kind, dusty tables, weird smells, questionable hot dogs. Anyway, I am digging through a box of old coins. Guy says everything in the box is 50 cents each. I am flipping through and I see a shiny 1973 no mint Mark Lincoln penny. My heart just about jumped out of my chest. I am thinking I have hit the jackpot, right? I pay my 50 cents, get in the car, call my wife, tell her to start looking at mansions. I am ready to live that yacht life. Get home, put that bad boy under a magnifying glass, and reality hits like a ton of bricks. It was scratched, it was dinged up, it looked like it had survived a zombie apocalypse. In other words, it was worth exactly 50 cents, maybe less if you count the gas I used driving to the flea market. If you want to seriously hunt for valuable pennies, here are a few tips. Always check your change. Sounds obvious, but so many people do not even bother. A quick glance could land you a huge find. Hit up garage sales, flea markets, coin shows. Sometimes people have no idea what they are selling, and you could scoop up a rare coin for peanuts. Learn to spot high quality coins, the shinier the better, but also pay attention to details like sharpness of the strike, lack of wear. Where spare change can literally change your life. Now let me ask you something. Have you ever looked at a plain old penny and thought, nah, just a penny, and tossed it aside? Well, if you have, you might want to kick yourself just a little, because today we are talking about a 2004 no mint Mark Lincoln penny that could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.8 million. Yes, you heard that right, $1.8 million for a single penny. Stick around, because I am going to break it all down for you. What to look for, why it is worth so much, and how one ordinary day almost turned me into a penny millionaire. Spoiler alert, almost. So get comfy, grab your magnifying glasses, and let us dive into the fascinating world of the 2004 no mint Mark Lincoln penny. First things first, what is the deal with a no mint Mark penny anyway? Normally pennies minted in Philadelphia do not carry a mint mark, and that is totally normal. You will see that on tons of pennies from the Philly Mint. No big deal, right? See, the 2004 no mint Mark penny we are talking about has a few special quirks that make it crazy valuable. We are talking about extreme errors, things like double die obverse, which basically means the front of the coin shows signs of doubling. You might see Abe Lincoln's face looking a little fuzzy or doubled, especially around his eye, or the words liberty or in God we trust. Then there are off-center strikes, where the design is literally off its mark, making the coin look a bit like it was printed after someone had a few too many cups of coffee. And we cannot forget die cracks that can make it look like Abraham Lincoln has a giant scar running across his face. Talk about tough guy vibes. One day I was cleaning out an old piggy bank, you know, the kind that weighs about 200 pounds because you have been dumping coins into it since high school. Anyway, I am sorting through them, tossing quarters into one pile, nickels into another, and then I find this crusty looking penny. At first I thought nothing of it, just another beat-up coin from years of being forgotten in the bottom of a ceramic pig. But something made me pause. Maybe it was fate, maybe it was because I was avoiding doing actual work at the time, who knows. I took a closer look and noticed something weird about it. The lettering looked funky, almost like there was a shadow behind it. I got super excited, thinking I had just hit the coin lottery. I grabbed my magnifying glass, which I bought for $5 from the dollar store, quality stuff, and squinted at that penny until my eyes watered. Turns out it was not the $1 million baby, but it was a double die penny from another year, and it still sold for over $50. $50 from a penny, not bad for an afternoon spent procrastinating chores. Why is it worth so much, you ask? Well, it is all about rarity, demand, and good old human curiosity. There are very few known examples of the major errors for the 2004 no mint Mark Lincoln penny, especially those that are in high-grade condition. Like mint state 68 or better, that is coin grading talk for dang near perfect. When collectors get wind of something rare and shiny, they are willing to open their wallets faster than a kid in a candy store with grandma's credit card. That intense demand drives up the price and boom, we get a market value of $1.8 million. Imagine finding one in your couch cushions or while fishing pennies out of a fountain for good luck. Suddenly, you are the luckiest person around. Now if you want to have a shot at finding one, here is what you need to look for. First, get yourself a decent magnifying glass, nothing fancy, just something that lets you really zoom in on the coin. Second, focus on the details, check the date, check for signs of doubling, check for off-center strikes or weird cracks and lines that should not be there. Third, pay attention to the condition. If your penny looks like it has been run over by a herd of stampeding elephants, well, it's probably not hitting the $1 million mark. Sorry, condition matters a lot. The better the condition, the higher the value. That is why storing coins properly is important. No pockets, no junk drawers, and no throwing them into a jar with your loose screws and rusty paper clips. Authenticated and graded by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC. These guys know their stuff, and a professional grade can make the difference between a decent payday and a life-changing jackpot. After grading, you can either auction it off through a big auction house or sell it privately to a serious collector. Personally, if it were me, I would auction it and then immediately book a trip to somewhere warm with lots of beaches and no pennies in sight. Before we wrap this up, let me hit you with some fun facts, because hey, who does not love useless trivia that might one day win you a game show? Did you know that it costs the US Mint about 2 cents to make a 1-cent penny? Yeah, that is some real government math for you. Or that Abraham Lincoln was the first historical figure to ever appear on a U.S. coin, starting with the penny in 1909. That is over 100 years of Abe giving you that slightly judging look every time you buy gum or drop change on the ground. The 2004 no mint mark Lincoln penny might look like every other penny in your pocket, but under the right conditions it could literally change your life forever. $1.8 million for one little copper-colored circle. Imagine walking into a coin shop with your lucky penny and walking out planning your dream vacation, your new house, or just bragging to your friends that you turned a penny into a fortune. Talk about a glow-up. Moral of the story: check your change. Seriously, check it right now. Who knows, that little penny rattling around at the bottom of your backpack might just be your golden ticket. If you had fun hanging out today and you want more tips, tricks, and downright crazy stories about coins worth serious money, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now. Smash it like you would smash open that piggy bank from 3rd grade when you needed ice cream money. Drop a comment below and tell me the weirdest thing you ever found in your change jar, and if you want me to cover a specific coin in a future video, let me know. I am always looking for treasure hunting buddies where spare change might just make you rich. Today we are diving deep into one tiny little coin that could change your life forever. I am talking about a simple looking 2000 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny that today, yes today, could fetch you a jaw-dropping $1.9 million. Now I know what you are thinking: a penny worth almost $2 million. That is like finding a golden ticket in your sock drawer. But hang tight, because by the end of this video you will know exactly what to look for, and who knows, maybe you have got a retirement plan hiding at the bottom of your coin jar. Alright, grab a cup of coffee or a cold one, sit back and let us have some fun with this little copper superstar. So first things first, what exactly is the 2000 no mint mark Lincoln penny? Well, if you have ever looked at your coins, you probably noticed that most pennies have a little letter under the date, right? That letter is called a mint mark, and it tells you where the coin was made. Now the ones made in Philadelphia usually do not have a mint mark at all. That is totally normal, but not every penny without a mint mark is worth millions. So what makes the 2000 no mint mark penny so special? Picture this: you are at a barbecue flipping burgers, everything is normal, then you notice one burger is 3 times thicker than the rest. You would know something went wrong somewhere, right? Same thing with this penny. Most 2000 pennies are plain ordinary, but a very few of them came out with crazy minting errors that collectors absolutely lose their minds over. We are talking about things like a double die error, meaning the design looks like it has been stamped twice, giving everything a weird shadowy effect, or sometimes the composition is wrong, maybe it was struck on the wrong type of metal altogether. And because these errors are so rare, collectors will pay insane amounts to get their hands on one, hence the wild market value of $1.9 million. About 5 years ago, I was cleaning out my junk Drawer, you know that drawer everyone has filled with batteries that do not work, pens that are out of ink, random screws that do not fit anything. Yeah, that drawer. Well, I dumped it all on the kitchen table thinking I would finally get my life organized. 10 minutes and I found an old jar of coins. Some were covered in sticky gunk, some looked like they had been through a war. I almost threw them all out, but my buddy Joe, who collects coins like it is a religion, told me, man, you never toss old coins without checking them first, you could be throwing away a fortune. So I started picking through them one by one, feeling like Indiana Jones hunting for treasure. Long story short, I did not find a $1 million penny that day, but I did find a 1943 steel penny worth about $100, which by the way paid for pizza and beer that night. So thanks, Joe. If you are wondering how you can tell if you have the big one, here are a few tips. First, look at the lettering, especially Liberty and In God We Trust. If the letters look slightly doubled or have a shadow, that is a huge clue. Second, check the date. If the numbers are thick or look like they have an outline, jackpot, my friend. Third, weigh the coin. A normal penny from 2000 should weigh about 2.5 grams. If yours feels off or weighs differently, it could have been struck on the wrong planchet, meaning the wrong type of metal. And of course, condition matters. If your penny looks like it spent the last 20 years under a rock, it might not fetch top dollar, but even a worn example with the right error can still be worth serious cash. First rule, never sell it to the first guy who waves $100 at you on Facebook Marketplace. You want to get it properly graded by a professional grading company like PCGS or NGC. These folks will authenticate your penny and give it a grade which can seriously boost your selling price. Once it is graded, you can auction it off through big auction houses like Heritage Auctions or even on eBay if you feel brave. But trust me, the big collectors hang around those official auctions like sharks, waiting to snap up treasures like yours. In the past few years, coin collecting has absolutely exploded. More people are getting into it because, let us be honest, finding hidden money is way more exciting than watching your stocks lose value because of that. Rare coins, especially error coins, are fetching higher and higher prices. The last known sale of a similar 2000 no mint mark Lincoln penny with major errors hit close to the $2 million mark at auction, and experts predict that if another one hits the market today, it could go even higher, maybe 2.1, maybe 2.2 million. Imagine finding that penny between your car seats right next to an old French fry and half a melted crayon. Dreams do come true, folks. Alright, let us do a quick recap because I know this is a lot of info to throw at you all at once, and if you are like me, you will probably find a bunch of ordinary coins first, but do not get discouraged. Coin hunting is all about patience and a little bit of luck, and hey, even if you do not find a $1 million penny, you will learn a ton about history, art and money along the way. Plus you will have a great excuse to brag to your buddies at the next barbecue. Speaking of which, I am still waiting for Joe to find his $1 million penny. He swears it is hiding somewhere in his sock drawer. We will see. So there you have it, folks. The 2000 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny could literally be your ticket to millionaire status. Check those pockets, check those drawers, heck, check under the couch cushions. You never know where one might be hiding. If you enjoyed hanging out today and want more tips, tricks and treasure hunts, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. We have got tons more coin hunting secrets coming your way, and trust me, you do not want to miss them. We turn pocket change into dream vacation, sports cars, or maybe even early retirement if you are lucky enough. Today I am diving into something absolutely crazy and you do not want to miss it. Imagine reaching into your old junk drawer, you know, the one full of rubber bands, random keys and batteries that probably expired in 1998, and pulling out a penny that could make you a millionaire. Not just any penny though, we are talking about the 1980 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. That little copper coin could be worth a jaw-dropping $2 million today. Yeah, you heard me right, $2 million for 1 cent. If that is not worth sticking around for, I do not know what is. So grab your coffee, sit back, get comfortable, because we are about to have some fun talking about one seriously valuable penny, and I have got a hilarious story to tell you about how I almost gave one away without even realizing it. The 1980 no mint mark Lincoln penny looks pretty normal at first glance. It has old Honest Abe sitting there just like he has been since 1909. No wild designs, no fancy new metal, no sparkly colors. It is just good old reliable Lincoln. But here is the thing, not all 1980 pennies are created equal. The ones that are grabbing the big bucks have a few special traits, and trust me, if you are not looking closely you could totally miss them. Usually pennies minted in Philadelphia do not have a mint mark that is normal. Business as usual, but for collectors the absence of a mint mark combined with certain errors or incredibly high quality can skyrocket a coin's value through the roof. We are talking about things like extremely sharp details, uncirculated conditions, strong luster, and sometimes some funky errors like double dies or off-center strikes. And when you get a 1980 no mint mark penny that ticks all those boxes, congratulations my friend, you have basically won the coin lottery. Now these pennies that sell for millions, they are usually graded by a company like PCGS or NGC. They are given a grade like MS67 or higher. MS stands for mint state, meaning the coin has never been used for everyday transactions. Basically, if your penny looks like it just rolled off the factory floor, you might be in business. Quick side note, the highest auction record for a 1980 no mint mark Lincoln penny was right around $2 million, and yes, someone actually paid that. About 5 years ago I was helping my uncle clean out his garage. He had this huge jar of coins, like one of those gallon-size pickle jars, just stuffed with pennies, nickels and dimes. I am talking about at least 50 pounds of coins. It was so heavy I thought I was gonna throw my back out lifting it. Anyway, we are sorting through it for fun and he jokes, hey, maybe there is a rare one in there. We laugh it off because you know what are the odds. I pulled out a super clean 1980 penny no mint mark, looked almost brand new. I flipped it over, admired old Lincoln, and tossed it in the keep pile for fun later that night. Just out of pure curiosity I looked it up online. I nearly dropped my phone when I saw articles talking about 1980 pennies being worth thousands if they were in mint condition. I ran back to the jar like a maniac, pulled the penny out, inspected it under a bright light, and guess what? It had a tiny scratch right across Lincoln's nose. That tiny scratch meant it was probably only worth a few bucks instead of a few thousand. But hey, lesson learned, always check your coins carefully. You never know what you might have. Now let us talk a little bit about what makes these $1,000,000 pennies so valuable. First up, you have condition. Like we talked about earlier, mint state condition is key. No scratches, no wear, no tarnish. It should look like you just robbed the US Mint vault. Second is rarity. While 1980 was not exactly a rare year for pennies, finding one that has been perfectly preserved without being stuffed in pockets, purses or couch cushions for 40+ years is extremely rare. Third, and probably most important, is demand. Coin collectors love a good story, and they love the idea of finding the impossible that drives prices way up. If you have a coin that is rare, in great shape, and has a backstory like being an error coin or having a unique strike, boom, you are sitting on a gold mine, or a copper mine in this case. And hey, let us not forget the simple fact that people love Lincoln. He is one of the most collected historical figures out there. His face alone adds a certain nostalgia and emotional value to these pennies, which helps boost the price too. Now I know what you are thinking, how do I find one of these bad boys without spending every waking moment digging through jars of pennies? First, go through your old change. You would be shocked how many people have no idea what they have sitting in coffee cans, cookie tins, or forgotten piggy banks. Second, hit up garage sales, flea markets, and estate sales. Sometimes entire collections are sold off by family members who have no clue what is valuable and what is not. Third, and this is my personal favorite, build relationships with local coin dealers. Let them know you are looking for specific years and conditions. Sometimes they will tip you off when they come across something interesting, and you might snag a deal before it ever hits the public market. Get yourself a decent magnifying glass and a good coin reference guide. Having the right tools makes all the difference. Trust me, trying to spot a double die error with your naked eye is like trying to find a needle in a haystack while blindfolded. Alright folks, there you have it, the unassuming little 1980 no mint mark Lincoln penny could be your golden ticket if you find the right one sitting there quietly in your change jar. It might be holding $2 million worth of pure life-changing magic. So do yourself a favor, check your coins, be patient, have fun with it, and remember, even if you do not find a millionaire penny, you are learning a ton, and maybe, just maybe, you are building a hobby that could turn into something bigger. Before you head off to tear apart your couch cushions and raid your grandma's old purse, make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash that like button too. If you enjoyed hanging out today, we have tons more tips coming your way on how to find coins worth serious money and smart strategies for building a killer collection without breaking the bank. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Stay lucky, stay curious, and as always, happy hunting. Where your pocket change could be your golden ticket to early retirement. Now listen before you toss that old penny into a wishing well or lose it between your car seats. You might want to hang tight for this one, because today we are talking about a 1994 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny that could be worth up to $2.1 million. That is right, $2.1 million for a little copper coin that most of us have probably ignored or accidentally vacuumed up at some point. Just imagine this: you are at the grocery store, you drop a penny, you think, ah, who cares, it is just a penny, but little did you know you just lost your ticket to a beachfront house, a sports car, and a lifetime supply of nachos. Stick around, because I am going to break down exactly what makes this tiny coin so valuable, how you can spot one in your own collection or couch cushions, and I will even share a funny story about how I almost tossed away a fortune myself. In 1994 the U.S. Mint produced millions and millions of Lincoln pennies. Nothing crazy, right? Standard stuff. Pennies everywhere, falling out of wallets, clogging up your kitchen drawers. Some 1994 Lincoln pennies came out with no mint mark at all, no tiny little P for Philadelphia, no D for Denver, nothing, just good old Abe staring into the distance on a smooth plain field. Now usually a missing mint mark might not be a big deal, especially for a Philadelphia penny, since those often do not have mint marks anyway, but what makes this particular 1994 penny so special is that it has a very, very rare combination of errors and features that crank its value up faster than a toddler on a sugar rush. First, look at the coin closely. It should have absolutely no mint mark under the date 1994, and it should be in exceptional condition. I am talking full red luster, no major scratches, sharp details on Abe's beard and hair. It needs to look like it just rolled off the minting press yesterday. Secondly, experts have found that the most valuable versions of this coin have a few subtle errors, slight doubling in the lettering, sometimes a tiny misalignment of the die, things that are invisible unless you have a good magnifying glass or bionic eyes, which sadly I do not. If you find a coin with all of these features, congratulations, you are basically holding on to $2.1 million worth of pure financial freedom. A few years ago I was helping my cousin move out of his old house, you know the deal, packing up junk he had not touched in a decade. While we were cleaning out the garage, we stumbled across a giant old jar filled with pennies. I am talking about one of those industrial-sized pickle jars full to the brim. My cousin looked at it and said, "Hey, if you want it you can have it. I am tired of hauling it around." Fast forward to later that night, I am sitting on my living room floor sorting through what felt like 10,000 pennies, halfway through an existential crisis and wondering if my life choices had led me to becoming a penny goblin. My heart basically jumped into my throat. I ran to grab my magnifying glass, my flashlight, my cat for emotional support, and started inspecting it like Sherlock Holmes at a crime scene. Turns out it was a regular 1994 penny after all. Womp womp, no fortune for me that day, but hey, it made for a good story and gave me a new obsession, checking every penny I come across like it holds the secrets to the universe. Now you might be thinking, well, if the 1994 no mint mark penny is so rare, what are my chances of actually finding one? Most people have coins rattling around in their homes, cars, purses, even tucked into old pants pockets, coins that have been sitting forgotten since dial-up internet was still a thing. If you really want to maximize your chances, check your change, pay attention when cashiers hand you coins, search old penny rolls from the bank, go through coin jars at yard sales. I even knew a guy who found a rare coin just from buying a bag of coins at an estate auction. True story. And here is the kicker: even if you do not find the $2.1 million penny, you could still stumble across other valuable coins along the way. Pennies from 1969: 1970, 1973, 1992. There are tons of rare varieties that sell for thousands and thousands of dollars, all just waiting to be found by someone willing to look. Plus, it is a lot more fun than binge watching another true crime series that will just keep you up all night, convinced your neighbor is secretly a vampire. Now let us get a little technical for a second, because if you find a promising 1994 no mint mark penny, you will want to get it authenticated first. Take it to a reputable coin dealer, or better yet, send it to a major grading company like PCGS or NGC. They will examine the coin, grade it officially, and if it checks out, your tiny copper friend will get a certificate of authenticity. Grading also helps protect your investment, because collectors are much more willing to pay top dollar for a certified coin. Also, if you happen to find one of these beauties, make sure you store it Properly, no throwing it back in your junk drawer where it will get scratched up. Use a coin flip or a coin capsule to protect it. Coin flips are those little plastic or cardboard sleeves that hold a single coin and keep it nice and safe. Lastly, do not forget about auctions. If you have a verified 1994 no mint mark Lincoln penny in excellent condition, the best way to sell it is probably through a major auction house like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers. These guys specialize in rare coins and have access to deep-pocketed buyers who are just waiting to throw down crazy amounts of cash for something truly unique. You are looking for a 1994 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, perfect or near perfect condition, possible minor doubling or die errors, and a bright red original mint luster. If you find one, you could be looking at $2.1 million, enough to buy a dream home, start your own business, or finally afford those ridiculously overpriced concert tickets you have been eyeing since forever. So the next time you see a penny on the ground, do not step over it like it is a gum wrapper. Pick it up, inspect it, and maybe, just maybe, it will be your lucky day. Remember, coins are tiny time capsules. Each one has a story, and some of them are worth a whole lot more than face value. If you enjoyed hanging out today and learning how even a penny can change your life, hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, and ring the notification bell so you never miss another tip on coins worth big money and collecting strategies that could set you up for life. Trust me, you do not want to miss what is coming up. I have got some crazy rare finds to share with you, and who knows, maybe your next coin adventure will be your $1 million moment.